Good evening and welcome everyone to our March Roundtable. I thank all of you for your flexibility tonight. I apologize we had to kind of make this last minute flex to virtual only, uh, but we felt that it would be in the best interest of everyone for safety reasons to not have you driving around the windy roads of Summit Lake in the nasty storm that we are supposed to be getting here in the coming moments. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started as we always do with our oath and law. So give me just 1 second. I will hit the button and hit that button over there and hit that button there and boom, like that. All right, everybody should see the screen, correct? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit the video like this, and then we're gonna hit it again like this.
Those in uniform, please salute. Those who are not, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
All right, all right. So, with that, we're going to move on to the next item in our agenda that I totally wrote up and definitely didn't forget to send out to everybody. So we'll move on to our safety moment. This seems somewhat appropriate to talk about Gaga Ball, since we have now, I'm told we have nearing completion of a Gaga Ball pit at camp, and it's a very popular activity um, with a lot of our youth, especially in the OA. So Gaga Ball has become very popular throughout the U.S. We played in this funny looking octagonal pit. It's kind of like dodgeball, but maybe a little bit gentler. Uh, there are certain rules everybody's got to follow. Everybody has to keep one hand on the ball. The referee will throw the ball in the pit, and everybody yells "Gah!" on the first two bounces, and then go on the third bounce. Once the ball is in play, everybody lets go, and they swat at it with an open hand. Players are eliminated if the ball touches them anywhere below the knees and must leave the pit. The last player in the pit wins. So some of the things we need to keep in mind for safety reasons: players must play must play others of a similar age. A 2-year age span is a good rule, not a requirement, but a nice, easy suggestion. We wouldn't want to have a bunch of 17-year-olds, for example, playing with a bunch of 7-year-olds. That might not be a very fair advantage for the 7-year-olds. Players cannot hold the ball or pick it up and throw it, right? Because that would be potentially causing injuries. Consider the safety of the playing surface. You don't want to have crazy hard surfaces like concrete. You don't want to have a big mud pit. And pits should always be in good condition with no safety hazards. We should always have adult supervision of the Gaga ball pit, and soft balls should be used such as playground balls. If executed correctly, Gaga ball can be a great fun and safe activity. And in fact, there's some resources here about Gaga ball. And then look at that, there's even another safety moment about Gaga ball in addition to the one we're talking about. And that's kind of an example of what it looks like when it's being played. I can say from personal experience, I've watched some pretty good injuries from Gaga ball when we did Wash Jam back in 2022. We had a Gaga ball pit there, and we had a lot of injuries that were being reported from the Gaga ball pit. So hopefully we can try to prevent that in the future. Any questions on this part? All right. Moving on. I wanted to pull up the calendar for everybody here. I got to zoom in a little bit so you guys can all see it. So I hope everybody kind of knows where to find our council calendar. I'm going to keep talking about it, and I'm going to try to keep pushing it at roundtables to remind folks that this is where you should go if you're trying to figure out where an event is, what to find out information about events. This is the best place to go to because we keep this up to date, and this is where all the signups for all the events are, as well as any other relevant information you may need to know. So obviously, since the month of March is just about over, there's not a lot going on for the rest of this month, but we do have some events coming up next month. First big one is going to be the Aquabot Challenge. We're going to be doing where they're actually going to be competing with their Aquabot that they've been creating over the last couple of months. That's going to be really exciting. And I'm sure our good friend Matt Beauregard is going to be really excited about that. One of the things coming up next month, Spring Fair is going on next month. So you may have seen some Facebook posts and emails coming out from the Rainier District. They are looking for folks to sign up to help staff different aspects of the scouting booth at the Spring Fair up in Puyallup. So if that's something you or your youth are looking at doing, feel free to reach out to Rachel Weaver, or you can go to the calendar here to find out more information. Also, near the end of the month, after our next roundtable, is going to be the spring camporee. So we need people to sign up for that event. We need to make sure we get an accurate head count of how many people are going to be there. So for any of the troops out there that are looking for some spring camping activities, please make sure you sign up as soon as possible for the camporee. I know, one of the things not a lot of folks might realize is it's very difficult for us as a district and council to run events when we don't have an accurate idea of how many people are actually going to come to that event. So we need to hopefully try to get we need to get better about signing up early for events, because we cannot always guarantee that you will be able to have an opportunity to sign up for an event later or closer to that event day. And I would not expect to be able to continue to sign up like at the door for events, because that makes it really hard to have an idea of how many people are showing up for events. So, so that's kind of what's going on in April. If we scoot forward to May, we have IOLS that first weekend in May. So for any of our leaders that are looking for that to make sure they're fully trained for their position at the troop level, please make sure you sign up for IOLS. We also have a lot of things going on in the third weekend of May. We have our Trailblazers, which is the Trail the First Class program that we're going to be doing. It's going to run from Friday evening into Saturday or Sunday afternoon, excuse me. I know somebody who's going to be there teaching some first aid skills, so that should be pretty fun and entertaining for the youth. That weekend as well, there's the Eagle Advancement Training that's going to be offered up in Tacoma, and also the Olympic District Pinewood Derby. So for any of the youth, or anybody who's looking for opportunities for their kids to race in another Pinewood Derby, we're going to be doing that on the 17th. So at the Lacey Fun Fair. So if you guys have kids that are interested in doing the Pinewood Derby again, please make sure you sign up as soon as possible. We would like that to be a good, fun event for everyone. Any questions on any of these events I've talked about so far, folks? Okay. So with that, I will go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was trying to find the raised hand and I couldn't find it.
No, it's okay.
So for the Pinewood Derby at the Lacey Spring Fun Fair, are
Yes.
you guys going to be having a booth in addition to the Derby space, or is the Derby space the intention of the booth? Because I know that we had a booth last year and we were told don't sign up for a booth, that we can do it with council. And so I didn't know kind of what that looked like, if you guys were actually having a booth, or is it
Sure.
just the Derby component?
It's going to be a little bit of both, right? We are planning still on having a recruitment booth set up there as well with the membership committee, and fortunately, our membership chair is on the call as well, so she can probably answer that as well. But we are planning on having a recruitment booth as well as the Pinewood Derby.
Awesome. So if our kids have already raced their Pinewood Derby cars for this year, they could just sign up and bring those and have fun all over again. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is correct. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
And we will still have like awards and patches and things to give out to the kids as well. I don't know if it'll be patches. I shouldn't say that. Sorry. But we will have there will be things for the youth as well. And we'll have trophies and things. So it'll be a very good time. So I encourage folks to sign up for that. Unfortunately, because of other commitments, I can't help run the Pinewood Derby this year, but I know it'll be fun. I know it will be fun because it always is. And the Pinewood Derby, for those of you guys that don't know this, the Pinewood Derby is my most favoriteest activity in all of Cub Scouts. I love running Pinewood Derbies. I love watching Pinewood Derbies. It's the bee's knees to me. um, Also, for anybody that may have jumped in a little bit late, if you guys don't mind dropping your name and unit numbers in the chat, I would appreciate it. It helps for my attendance later. On that note, we'll go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to, unless anybody has any questions. Okay. Actually, real quick, Tyler, did you have any announcements that you think we needed to cover that I missed?
No, everyone, we've done a fantastic job. Just so everyone's aware, we've already raised $5,500 for scouting, sending kids to camp, getting kids who couldn't afford to be in the program within the program. I think that we're well on our way to ensure that, this program is going to provide opportunities for youth all over our district and ensure that they have opportunities and experiences that are going to last a lifetime. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out tonight as well and giving us your time to learn a little bit more about how we can enhance our programs.
Thank you, Tyler. I'm sorry to put you on the spot there, but thank you. That does remind me of one more thing. If you guys are out there with your units and you are looking for someone to help support you guys with doing a Friends of Scouting presentation at your unit, please let either myself or Tyler know, and we can, or Scott Smith, our district fundraising chair, know, and we can help facilitate someone helping you guys with the presentation. So we are still, we would like, our goal is with the Friends, one of our biggest goals with the Friends of Scouting this year is to try to do a presentation or have a presentation held at every unit in the district. So that's one of our goals as a district and council this year. So if you guys could help us reach that goal, that would be really greatly appreciated. Excuse me. Sorry. But on this note, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our presenters for the evening. We're going to be talking about the religious emblems that our youth and adults can earn, as well as chaplains and chaplain aids and how to utilize them in your unit program. So I'll turn it over first to Monica, I think is what we talked about. She is our district religious emblems coordinator. So she is a great resource for anybody who's looking to do a religious emblem in your unit for the youth. She is a great person to talk to about that. So I'll go ahead and stop talking and let Monica talk.
Thank you, John. So we know that the first item in the Scout oath is to do my duty to God and my country. And in the Scout law, it also states a Scout is reverent. As adult Scout leaders, we recognize the importance of duty to God, and a gathering of statements state it helps Scouts develop a sense of spirituality, appreciate religious diversity, and build a strong moral compass. While Scouting does not favor a single faith, it does emphasize the importance of God in character building. The resource we have to offer our Scouts to meet this is the Religious Emblem Program, and we would like to re-energize it here in the Olympic District with all of your help. The program is created by the various faith religious groups to encourage all the youth to grow stronger in their faith. The religious groups, not Scouting America, are the ones who create the religious emblem programs themselves. They follow a guideline. Could we go to slide 3? The religious emblems In Scouting America has approved the programs and allows the recognition to be worn on the official uniform. It's a universal knot, purple and silver or silver and purple. But each religious organization develops and administers its own program. We would like to empower you, the units, to activate the program in each of your units. And this goes from Lion Cubs up to Eagle, and essentially grades K through 12. So a bit about the program itself. Each religious organization that wants to be involved will develop their program. The Scouting America will review it and approve it. And then each scout working with a mentor or a contact in their unit would get information on how to start. There is a booklet to be filled out, and they would get that from the organization or from the council store. When the booklet is completed, an award is typically presented to the scout at a meaningful ceremony, preferably in the scout's religious institution. But an ideal time to do it is also Scout Sunday or Scout Sabbath in February. They can be presented anytime during the year. As the scout progresses through his own ranks, their own ranks, they may earn an award at all the various levels. And then a device is added. Scout, slide 4, please. Yeah, a device is added to the Religious Emblems square knot to show multiple awards earned. There is also a medal that you can see in the picture that with their faith's emblem that is presented as well. So that's basic, that's the nuts and bolts of it. A little bit more specifics. The Pray organization, Programs of Religious Activities with Youth, has organized the programs into one website with over 24 recognized faith institutions. We'll have websites at the end of this. It's advised that in your unit, one adult scouter would be the contact for the scout and the adults. Ideally, it would be a chaplain to help coordinate that information. To help get all of the information out to your scouts and parents, there is available a PowerPoint presentation and an entire script that goes with it. It's all set out for you, from the presentation of the program to the scouts and adults, to the point where the scout is interested in earning their emblem, and to the recognition and award. It's all scripted. And slide 6, please. In addition to the religious knot worn on the uniform, there is also a patch program that can be earned and worn as a temporary on their button pocket. So this program is not also just for scouts, but if your unit is chartered with a faith organization, they could be interested in this for all of their youth. So that's just a basic outline. Also, there is a program for all the adults to earn their award as well, and it would be a great example for all the scouts to see. So these slides that we've been going through, slide 7, please, are just a portion of the PowerPoint presentation that's used at the unit level. So I would really like to meet any and all units that are interested in getting this started. We have people, we have resources. We can help you develop the program. But also please consider and remember that this is to enable our scouts to not only do more toward their duty to God, but to help them on their own faith journey. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
So, thank you, Monica. I did have a quick question.
Okay.
If we have, because we have several of our units in the district that are not chartered by a specific faith-based organization. But if they have youth in their unit that are interested in pursuing their emblems of their faith, what would you suggest to be the best method for doing that?
With the religious coordinator within their unit or their chaplain, they could go and present this type of program to their organization, their pastor, the person that may be a youth minister of their unit. of their organization, and we can just go directly with that.
Okay.
So it may not be as much Scouting America driven, but just the youth and his faith organization together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I personally, I think this is a great program, and I think it's a great way to, encourage promoting a faith within the organization and making sure that we're, you know, developing that aspect of our experience in scouting. Uh, 'Cause I got my youth religious emblem when I was a kid, back when I was a wee little baby wee below with a head full of hair and a little blue shirt. But
Well
that was a
done.
long time ago. So, thank you. Does anybody have any other questions for Monica about about these emblems and how to earn them and anything like that?
Yeah, about the past. Talked about if you're with a religious organization, but if you are not chartered with a religious organization, how patches work? Who would you work with? Is it like, oh yeah, if you finish the first quarter of the steps in your religious award, you get a patch? Or
Well, as I understand it, I haven't been with this program for a few years, but when I was working at, I'm up from San Diego. When I was working at there, this patch program is specific with the Pray organization. So once you've done everything to earn your award and the patch, then we would contact the Pray organization to get the patch awarded out.
so the patch has specific requirements. It's not necessarily toward religious emblem awards.
It works in conjunction, but let me look into more specific on that.
Hey, Monica, can I speak on something about that?
Absolutely, thank you.
Sure. So when my daughter went through it, she did the Brave version. We were working with Chaplain Brennan at the time, but there's a mentor person book that you can also get that goes side by side with the youth one. So if you, as their parent, want to do and be the mentor as they go through it, it kind of guides you both through the program. Joanna did the God in Life because she was in high school by the time she did it. So that's something to look into when you're looking at the books and things. If you want to be the mentor parent, then it kind of takes you both through the process, and it gives you parts as an adult to take them through that, if that helps. I don't know if it does.
Thank you.
John, I'm going to put my email address in, so anybody that wants more information, we can work with that.
Hey, John, I can't hear you. I don't know if anybody else can.
Oops,
Yeah, I thought
sorry.
it got
Nope,
quiet, but I thought it was me.
nope, that was me. I hit the mute button. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you for that. So we will I'll drop all the links for these presentations in the comments for anybody who's watching this after the fact on either YouTube or Facebook. And I'll also drop everybody's emails who's willing to share them for the presenters, that is, if you guys want to reach out to the presenters about this. I just wanted to kind of highlight this real quick for you guys. This is the Pray organization. So it's an organization that's not specific to Scouting America. They work with the different scouting organizations across the U.S. to do these religious emblems, because you can actually earn them, in different scouting affiliated organizations. So This is, I think, a good place to start for anybody who's interested. And I'll drop this link in the chat as well as in the video recordings after the fact as well for anybody who's interested. So thank you, Monica. Does anybody have any other questions for Monica? Excellent. Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to turn it over to excuse me, my good friend Andrew Lewin, who is also our district chaplain. So he's going to talk about the chaplaincy program and how to utilize it in your units. So, Andrew, whenever you're ready, go ahead and share your slides.
How is everybody? My name is Lewin. I am Olympic District Chaplain, and we're going to go ahead and start. The Declaration of Religious Principle. This is from the Chaplain and Chaplain Aid Manual. And it says, Scouting America maintains that no members can grow into the best kind of citizen without recognizing an obligation to God, and therefore recognizes the religious element in the training of the members. But it is non-sectarian in its attitude toward that religious training. Its policy is that the home and the organization or group with which a member is connected shall give definite attention to religious life. Only persons willing to subscribe to this declaration of religious principle and to the bylaws of Scouting America shall be entitled to certificates of membership. Now, I wanted to talk about who could be a chaplain and what they do, because we definitely have a need for more chaplains. They could be members of clergy or anyone who has the desire to serve in that capacity. And that literally means what it says. If you desire to be a chaplain for your troop or pack or team or ship, you can be a chaplain. They could usually are members of the unit committee. They could, for religious organizations, they're usually the executive officer of the organization, like the pastor of the organization. Or they could be the charter organization rep, could also be the chaplain in an organization. The chaplains, they really do set the spiritual tone for the unit. They help the unit fulfill their duty to God. They provide opportunities for scouts to grow in their relationship to God and to other scouts. They guide and encourage the chaplain aide, who has a lot of responsibilities that we'll go over in a bit. And they encourage scouts to participate in the religious emblems of their faith. So if it's a unit that is sponsored by a religious organization, it could be a lot easier to do this because you have the faith, like members of the faith. But I mean, there might be somebody in their faith that isn't a member of their faith, but they go to their scouting unit. And so they should also be encouraged to earn their religious emblem. And then they can provide spiritual counseling and guidance when needed or requested. Now let's talk about the chaplain aide. The chaplain aide and what they do. Chaplain aides assist the troop chaplain, usually an adult from the troop committee or charter organization, in serving the religious needs of the troop. They lead the troop in opening and closing prayer, mealtime blessings, and chaplain aides ensure that religious holidays are considered during the troop's program planning process and promote Scouting America's Religious Emblems program. The responsibilities. They assist the troop chaplain with religious services at troop activities. These are things like Scouts Own, that if you've been to Baloo, you've learned how to do a Scouts Own, or if you've been to Woodbatch, you've learned how to do a Scouts Own. They encourage the members to strengthen their own relationship with God through personal prayer and devotion and participation in religious activities appropriate to their faith. They tell scouts about the Religious Emblems program for their faith at least once a year. They help recognize troop members who receive their religious emblems, such as a Cord of Honor. They make sure that religious holidays are considered during the troop program and planning process. And they also help plan religious observances and troop activities. They encourage people to say grace at meals while camping or at other activities. They promote the annual Scout Sunday or Scout Sabbath. They set a good example. They wear the uniform correctly. They live by the Scout oath and law, and they show Scout spirit. The chaplain aide is also a leadership role, so it goes for the leadership requirement to earning the other rank advancements, like Star, Life, and Eagle Scout. And that is my presentation. Is there any questions? Let me get off this share.
I had a question, Andrew.
Hold
So,
on. I'm
if you
having
hit,
trouble
if you
closing.
hit the escape
I got
button,
it.
there you go. So if you have folks that are interested in becoming chaplains, is there any online resources that might help them?
There are online resources. You can Google the chaplain's manual for chaplains and chaplain aid. You can also there's also another website about for chaplains. If you Google like chaplains in Scouting America, they'll come up with another website that'll help people learn their duties and those kinds of things. I don't exactly have the website off the hand though.
That's okay.
Maybe I can get it later.
Well, that was also that was a little bit of a loaded question. There is also there is the online training modules as well for chaplains.
And they're very good modules.
Okay, Katie has a question, I think.
I do. If you do not have an adult that is in a chaplain's aid role, how do you best suggest that the scoutmaster, assistant scoutmasters help a scout that is fulfilling that role as chaplain's aid? How can we help guide them in the best way for them to be successful in their role? This could be cubbies too.
Right. So that's a really good question. Thank you. I would suggest having like a binder that has like the duties of the chaplain's aid in it, and help them understand like that they're there to help set the spiritual tone for the scouting unit. I would also have like a way for them to prepare like scouts owns if they're comfortable doing that, to help the unit on with scouts owns or encourage with scouts owns. They should be a part of the patrol leader council. In planning, they would help plan like scouts own during the calendar of like camping events, and they would also during other planning, maybe not at PL's patrol leader council, but at other plannings, they would probably plan on who's going to say the blessings at meals, or who would feel comfortable doing that, or that they could do that. So working with them as an adult leader, just bring them with sorry, I lost my thought.
Wasn't sure if you froze or if you lost your thought. One of the two.
I wasn't sure either because you stopped moving for a second. I was like, uh-oh.
We're still here. We're still here.
Yeah, I should have just pretended it was computer. That's right.
That's funny.
I would have a book that was made up that could give them all the resources they would need to do the things like and encourage them for planning at PLCs, encourage them to plan like it said, religious holidays, make sure that we're not going up against religious holidays, and that kind of a thing. Did that answer your question, Katie?
Yep, absolutely did. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I will definitely say the prayer at the district dinner.
Thank you. I did get your email. I appreciate it. Yeah, I have a couple more things I want to talk to you about. So if you can stay on for a few seconds after. But yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for Andrew?
Okay, so hi, I'm Mary, Andrew's wife, and I'm just behind him in this green fog. I have a question, Andy. So the number one question I get when people are asking me as a unit leader is, okay, so what if I'm not religious? Can I do scout? And then I have this, like, I feel like our unit is really not promoting the duty to God because I've had those questions come at me and I'm not sure where to land on that. So what would you suggest?
Okay, that was a couple questions.
I know it was.
Um,
I gave you the hard one.
these
Now
are-
you're like, now can I resend and have you ask me this later? Okay, go ahead.
No, those are good questions. The first question, let's see, does a person need to have a religious faith to be a part of scouting? Not exactly. You don't have to have a specific faith, but you do have to have a belief in something to be a part of scouting. It's in the scouting bylaws. Is that correct, John? Am I saying
That is correct. Yes. And it's somewhat of a loaded question, but the short answer sort of is scouting doesn't say what you believe. Scouting just asks you to believe in a higher power. They don't. It doesn't matter. Whatever that means to you is what's important. And scouting wants you to take a personal journey to explore what faith means to you personally. As an organization, we're not going to tell you what to believe or how to believe it, but we want you to believe something. Okay, so that's yeah. So
really, I'm just asking for like a script to say to people when they ask that. So I like that answer though.
that's kind of what I usually say to folks. Tyler has probably a little more of an official answer, but thank you.
Yeah, so an aspect of being a scout, if you want to look at your registration when you re-register every year, is you check a box saying that you believe in something. All organizations, everything we work with, we have a declaration of religious principle, simply meaning that's it. We believe in something, regardless of what that may be. We don't necessarily have the right, and we shouldn't ask people about their faith unless they're willing to share it, young or old. But just the fact that you believe in anything. There is a unit, for example, back in Nevada, who they believe in the flying spaghetti monster, and they believe in something. It can be a unit, like there is a scout unit that is chartered by some military members who assist the Swiss Guard at St. Peter's Basilica or Vatican City.
Yeah.
So it can be of all kinds of different descents of different types, but essentially all scouters, no matter and regardless of where, should have a belief. And the furthest that we as scouters can ask people or encourage people is, do you believe in something? And if the answer is yes, then they have met the qualification to be a scout.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, the kind of the way that I look at it is it's kind of similar to like ADA dogs, right? We trust that people, when they have a service animal, that it is providing a service for them, and we can ask them what service it is providing, but that's about it. Can't really ask them much of anything else. And we believe that they're acting in good faith, and that's kind of the way I look at it in scouting, right? When I say to someone, "Hey, do you believe in something, in a higher power?" and they tell me yes, I take them at their word.
Can I add something on that too?
Oh, go ahead. Yes, please.
So when you're going through ranks, at least on the Scouts BSA side, as a scoutmaster, I sit with my scouts and I go through those 3 different ranks, 4 different points. One time, at some point, get to reverend, and when we have that conversation, it's usually that back and forth of what does that look like to you, but also the requirement says how do you live your duty to God in that particular point of the Scout law. So you're talking a little bit about that within that act. What is it? How are you living your duty to God to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful? So each point gets touched on just a little bit in that way, and it gives them an opportunity to think about what that looks like for them and in their life. So that's just a Scouts BSA perspective.
Absolutely. Um, no, this is a great conversation. I appreciate everybody's willingness to participate and everything. This is a lot more engaging and a lot more interesting for everybody when we all have a conversation instead of me or somebody else just talking at the screen or talking at the group of people. So I appreciate everybody. Does anybody have any other questions for either Andrew or Monica? Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and get this wrapped up here then. Tyler, do you have anything in closing for us?
Don, thank you. No, I just want to again thank everyone. Scouting is a passion project, and scouting is something that we do because we love our community. We love the youth in it. We care about the future, and we want nothing but the best for our young people and for them to experience the world at its fullest. And so I'm thankful to everyone for serving young people and creating opportunities and experiences that are going to last a lifetime and dedicating yourself to your community and to a brighter future. Thank you for all that y'all are doing, and I'm excited to serve each and every single one of you.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Tyler. And in closing for my commissioner minute, I just want everybody to say I want to say thank you to everyone for coming tonight. I really appreciate you guys all being here. And I appreciate everything you guys are doing for your units, for your communities, for the youth, right? I hope we all remember when we go home tonight. Well, most of us are probably already home, but as we go back to our units in the coming weeks until we see each other again next month, we, to provide that service to the youth and to be helpful to them and provide them with the guidance that they look for when they come to scouting, right? And I want to encourage all of you guys to think about ways that we can encourage our youth and our scouters to incorporate these religious emblems and the chaplain program into their scouting lives. Because one thing I did want to just briefly touch on with the religious emblems as well, there are also adult religious emblems that adults can earn as well. One of the things I hear from a lot of people is, "Hey, John, my uniform doesn't have any patches on it. I need more knots. How do I do that?" I get that from people a lot. So this is an opportunity to work on one of the adult religious emblems for your own faith. Now, personally, I think that some of the adult ones are more difficult than the youth ones, but in some cases, depending on your faith. But it is an opportunity as well. With that, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We will see all of you next month. Fingers crossed, unless there's another storm rolling through. We are planning on being out at Camp Thunderbird again, as well as on Zoom, for those of you that can't make the drive. And next month, we will be talking about, you may have seen some things about these new unit metrics and these things that are replacing the Journey to Excellence. And I wanted to take an opportunity to talk with everybody about what that looks like and how these metrics are tracking what you guys are doing in the units. So that's what we're going to talk about next month. And with that, thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys all next month, unless I see you this weekend at the District Awards Dinner.
Thank you, everyone. Monica, great job. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad I could get it done.
Yeah, thank you, Monica. You did really well.